Hey guys, welcome back to Here for the Instagram followers.
I'm Maritza.
And I'm Willow. And love is no longer real in Bachelor Nation. We have had so many breakups in the last few weeks. It has been insane. And I think we just need to cover a few of them.
Oh no, for sure. I mean, maybe starting off like right when the year started. I mean, was it either Colton or was it Peter was the first one this year?
I think Colton and Cassie were the first because I think they kind of teetered off towards the just as we got into the holidays. And it was like a really gradual thing with a
Mm.
bunch of allegations of stalking, Colton putting a tracking device on Cassie's car. And Cassie has since gotten with a new guy who is a musician, which definitely, I don't know, a little bit to that whole she always kind of felt like she was never super into Colton, and now she's suddenly dating someone in Hollywood. Notable.
Was she doing it for the
It's
Instagram followers? I'm pretty
I always
like,
had that vibe back when she
yeah,
was on his season in like
yeah.
2018, I think it was. And so I'm
Mm.
just kind of like, I don't know, seeing this move right after that breakup. And the relationship was on again, off again. Definitely
I have
wanted.
I have a feeling like she cheated on Colton with the musician guy. Like it
Oh
was
my
pretty
God.
soon.
Well, here's the thing. The musician guy, his name is Brighton Reinhardt. He released a song titled Creep on January 6th that is like has everyone talking. Everyone's convinced it's about Colton. And some of the lyrics, literally in the first verse, read, "You can't stop thinking about my baby. What was once yours in the world is changing. God, I hope you get your thinking right. GPS on the underside. Told her everything will be just fine. Damn, I can't believe these guys." And that's literally talking about
He was not subtle, man. He was
he
not subtle
wasn't
at all.
subtle at all. Literally the GPS on the underside of her car. Like, yeah.
Just basically blurted it out. Colton. He should have named it. Honestly, Creep, Colton. I love the alliteration right there. Like,
Yeah.
good play on words,
He should have just called him the Virgin. Like, we would have all known.
honestly.
And then we also had, following that, the Peter Kelly drama, which it sounds like Barb had some stuff to do with as well.
Not very surprised though. Barb, the problematic queen that we know her of. Actually, I don't even want to put her the thing of queen because I don't know. I always never liked Barb, so I
She
don't
was
know.
too
But
much.
I also like, I guess it was supposedly distance and like it wasn't working out, even though they were both gonna move together to New York. They
They've
both
also
ended
been
up
like
moving together to New York though.
they've
So
also been socially distancing or not socially distant, quarantining together. Sorry, the door just closed in the back room. But they also just been quarantining together too this entire time, posting plenty of cringy TikToks. I mean, yeah.
I
Sorry again
mean,
for the door closing.
no, it's totally fine. I mean, yeah, referencing those TikToks, people would be making fun of them for trying to like act like Hannah Brown and like Tyler Cameron and Matt James in their quarantining group and making their own quarantining group and like they'd basically bully them for like being the fake people. But like I just always felt like Kelly was like too mature for Peter, and Peter was just like he was never ready for marriage, and like I feel like Kelly was. So honestly, I saw it
Yeah,
coming at some point, but like
I
what I
agree.
find so ironic was that they're still in New York together, but like they're not together. They're just like they're living there, but not together.
I
Yeah.
mean, speaking of TikTok, Kelly and Peter weren't the only couple that made their mark on TikTok. Claire and Dale have also produced several, honestly, cute ass TikToks leading up to their ultimate breakup that we just found out about in the recent weeks.
Oh God. But like I honestly I didn't see it ending this soon. Like I knew it was gonna end, but I didn't know it was gonna be this soon. Like I was a little like,
And the way
oh,
it ended was basically like Claire found out at the same time as all of us.
exactly. With these Instagram posts, which I mean, should we pull out the info out here
Yeah,
of
we
what
gotta
it is?
pull the receipts.
Oh my God. So Dale tweets or puts an Instagram out. Like, I want to share with you all that Claire and I had decided to go our separate ways. We appreciate the love and support we've received from so many people, but this is the healthiest decision for both of us at this time. We strongly believe in leading with love and always remaining true to oneself, something our families have taught and instilled in us throughout our lives. We only hope the best things for one another. And then Claire responds with, I was made aware of a mutual, air quotes, statement at the same time you all were. So I've needed some time to really digest this. Speaking for myself, my intentions with this relationship has always been very clear. So the truth is I am crushed, basically insinuating that she just found out through this post. This was not what I expected or hoped for, and I'm still trying to process this with 2020 was one hell of a year with COVID, battling severe anxiety post-show, balancing a public relationship, all while slowly losing my mother, which I did not know she lost her mother, which was a big thing about her
I
mother,
didn't
like
realize
being in
she
a,
officially lost her mother. That's devastating.
yeah, which is pretty sad. Like not having an engagement anymore, losing
Mm-hmm.
her mother, basically not having both parents now.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's kind of sad. Loki kind of feel bad for her. Even though Loki never liked Claire, Loki feel bad for her now.
Yeah, feel that too.
So then she goes on saying like there wasn't ideal circumstances, and she's looking forward to the end of the tunnel. The relationship was never perfect, but I can say I was genuinely invested with all my heart. I may not have all the answers, but I do know this. I'll continue to show up. Oh my God, her and showing up. She will continue to show up, stand by my word,
Continues to
and be
repeat herself.
committed to love.
Yeah.
XOXO, Claire.
And then E! News followed up a few days later by posting that Dale Moss has been reportedly a fame seeker officially, who cheated on Claire throughout their engagement with multiple people. And there's also been multiple sources for this story. So we've also been hearing and have seen multiple TikToks. I've said multiple so many times, but many TikToks about Claire and Dale's relationship being on the rocks this entire time and him cheating on her since the beginning. I'm so sorry, Claire.
I literally I mean, what else do you expect after like 2 weeks of knowing the guy? You don't really know the guy. So like, and I always
Yeah.
kind of got like frat boy vibes from Dale. And
Yeah.
I feel like Dale was really ambushed into like
I mean, he was
being
like a
with
Party
Claire.
City, like model. Come on, bruh.
He has no stability, man. Like you could just see like, oh my God. It was expected definitely, but I feel bad for Claire. I'm just like, she really deserves better. And now there's like this whole thing that she should be back with, God, what was the guy's name? The one that had to leave Tasha's season because he was still in love with Claire. Do you know what his name was?
Mm. Oh, Jason.
Jason. There we go, Jason. Now there's like people are saying they're like petitioning for Jason to be with Claire now. So
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
I would want
It's
that.
who
She
she
deserves that.
deserves. He still probably has feelings for her. He did on After the Final Rose, I felt like.
I just felt the same thing too. I mean,
Or the
yeah,
not the After the Final Rose. Yeah, After the Final Rose, does that count? Was it they had that weird mid-season After the Final Rose because first
yeah, that
season
whole
ended
thing.
early.
And he still seemed like not over her. So
Yeah. But I mean, Claire and Dale's relationship wasn't the only one that has ended where it seemed one person was way more into the relationship than the other. Evan and Carly also broke up over the holidays. And we forgot to cover it. They met in Bachelor in Paradise. Evan was on JoJo's season, and Carly was on Ben Higgins' season, who was reprised in the most recent, the episode 4 of The Bachelor, the one after this one we're going to recap right now.
yeah.
But they have since split, unfortunately. And funny enough, when they met in Bachelor in Paradise, it really seemed like Carly was the one that Evan was just pining after and really trying to get. But ultimately, their relationship ended because Evan fell out of love with Carly and I think fell in love with somebody else. And they had 2 kids together also.
Oh
Hmm.
no, the
Yeah.
children.
They have 2 kids together. They've been together for like 3 years. They have 2 babies. So sad.
Oh God, and he fell out of love with her. That's even worse, man.
Yeah. And the
Jeez.
devastating thing is like as recent they posted that they broke up like Christmas Eve or something. And as recently as like December 12th, they had posted a family video like vlog of them all getting family photos for their Christmas card taken. And they all looked so happy obviously, but you know, things can always look one way and totally be a different. But it's crazy that they're
Yeah.
taking family Christmas card photos and literally getting divorced at the same time.
Like Jesus, like what do you tell your
Yeah,
kids like when they grow up
right,
and like, yeah, so this is when we were still together, but like we were also divorced.
right.
Like that's traumatic, man. That's wow.
Yeah. So, all of that's happened, but that's not the only drama going on in Bachelor Nation. We
Oh
also
God,
have
no.
current girl, like season girl drama.
From Matt James season. Do we want to start off with Victoria stealing $250 worth of groceries, man? Like this girl, I gotta pull up her mugshot,
I
man.
think it was she pulled up $250 worth of makeup from a grocery store.
Oh man, look at the mugshot, man. Look how dirty they made her. Oh no. Oh, and then the other ones obviously too, but oh my God, this woman. Did we expect
Sorry,
anything
I
else from
have a,
her?
if anyone's watching, I have an eyelash like stuck in my eye. I'm not trying to be weird.
We're
Any,
not all trying to see your eyeball right now.
yes, no, I'm just, it's just, anyways. And so aside from Victoria stealing $250 from the grocery store, Sarah, we have some here for the wrong reasons drama has been started with G-Eazy. And I mean, we'll get to this a little bit later on in the episode. There's the photo, Maritza pulling up the receipts. We'll get this a little bit more into it, but I I have feelings about Sarah, and I'm glad she's no longer with us on the show.
Same. I just after seeing the whole G-Eazy thing, I hadn't even seen this episode prior to seeing the photo, and I was like, oh God, Sarah, I got weird feelings about Sarah. And after seeing this episode, I'm like, yo, Sarah, low-key was rooting for you, and now no.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Yes. And then we have Rachel,
Oh,
who
Rachel.
this is some drama that was posted night 1, episode 1 of The Bachelor. So a few weeks back at this point. However, it was posted originally onto TikTok by a girl who claims to have, or well, she did go to high school with Rachel. And she claims that Rachel, when they were in high school, made fun of her for liking a black man and wanting to date him. And they were making a lot of racist comments to her and just basically telling her that, like, as a white girl, you're not supposed to do that. And very problematic considering Rachel is now one of our front runners on Matt James, the first Black Bachelor's season.
It's just disturbing, like really, really disturbing. Like I said, like she was one of my front runners too, and I thought she was always like sweet, this little Christian girl. Like she seemed like she was genuine. And after
Yeah.
seeing the TikToks, after like it wasn't even just one TikTok, like you read the comments and people are agreeing with her, and there's reposts of people
Yes.
like and like people like making their own videos like coming out saying like, hey, yeah, this girl's bad news. She basically is against people of color, honestly. Like,
And here's
and
the
no,
What
continue,
were you
go.
saying? Okay, I was gonna say, well, here's the thing too. It's not like the original poster of the video did not back it up with claims. It's not like some, how some things go on TikTok when someone claims something that's completely based on no evidence and they don't back it up. No, she posted like 4 or 5 more videos with deeper explanations into it, explaining that, even after she posted that first video, Night one, there was a watch party going on with Rachel and the same group of girls that she was friends with in high school that all made these racist remarks. And she's still friends with them. First off, what does that tell you? A 20-something-year-old who's still hanging out with the same group of friends she was in high school. We all know that type, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's a type. And, they all were going off on her in her DMs about it, telling her to delete that and take it down, and they were going to come for her and shit. Are you kidding me? That just sounds
Just
defensive. You clearly are in the wrong.
there you go. It's just like it keeps getting shadier and shadier. And then when the girl group that did part of that bullying, part of that racism, like they pull up and they're trying to like basically erase that past, like even though who knows if that's honestly probably mostly relevant to this day that they might still do that. Like it's just disgusting. Like
Totally. And I mean, to be fair, they are from a super southern community, mostly predominantly white, strongly Christian roots. Like, and she does seem like coming on the show, she's very much so like the Hannah Ann type that was very popular on Pete's season. She's a good girl. She's very cute, very taken by religion and faith, family is everything.
but that's just what we see from the outside. And then we see who she really is. Someone not here for the right reason, someone who's here for the Instagram followers. And I was speaking of Instagram followers, I did my own little Instagram stalking on her account. And let me tell you this, no person of color is on her account. Like none. And I dug deep. I went back to her like freshman year of college, like high school days, like no person of color. And like if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does. And she during the whole George Floyd protests and all of that stuff, she did post Black Lives Matter stuff, but like
but
that's
only
just
when it was popular
exactly
and trending, when it was convenient and when it would get the likes. But in terms of her Instagram algorithm for everything else, white is right, which is so messed up and, uninclusive. Anyways, she did make one specific post on her story a few weeks back and left it in her highlights that specifically says, white privilege doesn't mean life hasn't been hard. It means your skin tone isn't one of the things making it harder. She goes on about, talking about being white and like, privilege and things like that. And it's like, okay, yet you still made fun of a girl in high school for wanting to date a black guy.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, I'm just like, it left me speechless. It left me feeling uneasy in my stomach. And here's the thing, I've been hearing rumors and I've been looking at like speculations that she might actually win this.
Can you imagine though if she did win this and then all this shit comes out again about her?
I'm just like, do I just stop watching now? Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I don't know what Matt's gonna do. Like,
I could
Jesus.
not.
There's so many great girls. I really hope that's just a rumor and speculation, not the real deal, because although Matt, I have mixed feelings about Matt, like he deserves better. He does not deserve that kind of fakeness, that kind of yikes. Also, she's a registered Republican and she probably voted for Trump. So there's that too.
Almost most definitely. So that's just something to keep in mind. But we should probably speak about some of the other girls other than just Rachel. So let's get into this episode where we leave off with the rose ceremony, where we left off with our cliffhanger from the last episode with Sarah fainting.
Yeah.
All of the girls are upset, obviously.
they think I like in this part of the episode, they all thought that she was fainted for attention. And in that moment, I thought it was very unlikely because like she already had a rose, she already had a date, she already
Yeah.
had the extra time with Matt. Like, does she really need the extra attention? And Victoria says that she made it the Sarah show. But as the episode progresses, I was like a little like, did she faint for attention? Like,
I mean,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I was doubtful too, or like I was completely like, obviously she wouldn't fake for attention. That's fucking
Yeah.
stupid. Like, why would you do that? But then by the end of the episode, or middle end, I'm like, sus. Like,
Very, very sus. Yes.
hmm. And obviously the girls just like don't want her getting the extra time. But eventually she does return to the rose ceremony, and Matt basically says to the girls he was just as surprised that happened as they were, which I was like, okay. But you still gave her extra time and she already had a rose, and that doesn't make up for that.
Mm-mm. And that extra time is what really pushes, people to start hating her. And that's the Sarah
Yeah.
show becomes a really big dynamic in the entire episode.
Yeah, it's the overarching theme this episode.
No, exactly.
And yeah, and Kayla, she's not doubtful though of Sarah's fainting, and she says though that she would have gotten bummed if she had gotten sent home over this, but luckily she doesn't. Um, you know, it shows that there is a group of girls that isn't fully suspicious of her, and
Yeah.
I do appreciate that inclusion.
Yeah, exactly. But when we get back to the rose ceremony, who he ends up sending home is Marilyn, and he chooses Marilyn over Victoria. Like
Devastated. I'm devastated.
it broke my heart for her because this girl literally, she was genuine, she was pure, she did not deserve to go home, and
Yeah.
she got wrapped in something that literally like was not fair. And I don't know why Victoria's still in this. Someone just kick her out. I can't stand her anymore.
And on her way out, Marilyn closed it up with basically saying Victoria is the worst, but is really a good actor. She gave her that.
Honestly, and I give her props for that one too,
Yeah.
because Jesus, how long has she been trying to play this act of being a little pure little queen?
Yes.
Oh
And
God.
then Matt gives a speech and yet another toast about the weeks ahead and continuing the journey. And, Victoria talks about how Marilyn is gone now, and now Sarah needs to go in the accent of Victoria.
Sarah's next on my list.
She needs to go. And then she's just like basically gonna probably try sabotaging that relationship next, I assumed. But she
Me
didn't need
too.
to sabotage it, I don't think.
It kind of played for itself in the end. Us just trying to alluding to what ends up happening at the end of this episode. Um, but the next day, the Chris Harrison comes in talking about the dates and how it's basically getting everyone, especially Matt, out of their comfort zone. And the first day is that there is a surprise, according to the date card.
Yes. And so the date card reads that it goes to Rachel, Bree, Kit, Serena, I think it was Serena C, Victoria, Kayla, Anna, Kylie, and Katie. I'm just trying to make sure I read all this name, pronounce them all right because their names are
Yeah.
pronounced weird. Um, and yeah, it just says that Anna really seemed like she was going to be the villain. I wrote that down. Like that was a little note.
Oh, yeah. No, I think at this episode, I really saw Anna being the villain. And honestly, Anna and Victoria be tag teaming it out this episode and the following episode. Like, yikes, they
Mhm.
don't have a break, man. They just don't have a break.
Yeah.
Um, but
And
I love this little quote from Kit. Kit, sometimes I don't know. She's like, I love being comfortable. It really does take a lot to get out of my. Okay, hold on, pause. I love being uncomfortable. It really does take a lot to get it out of my comfort zone. And I just like, I heard her say, I was like, make it make sense, please. I don't know how that makes any sense.
If you're uncomfortable but comfortable, then you're just comfortable. If you're comfortable being uncomfortable, you're comfortable. If you like being uncomfortable, but it's hard for you to be comfortable, get out of your comfort zone. What? Like, girl,
I
go back
lost
to
brain
college.
cells in that quote, man.
Yeah, I, someone's done a little bit too much partying or something. I don't
Oh
know.
god.
Mind you, it's
NYU
so
really
weird.
being not
It's so
treating
weird
her
to think
well.
though that she's literally only like 1 year older than us, basically. Like she's like 21. I'm like
She
19,
really
almost
is.
20.
Same. I'm just like, girly, what? You need to go back to school,
I'm
so
not
girly,
ready to
please.
get married. How is she?
Oh my god. I'm not even Jesus. I'm barely ready to go to college. Like,
I mean, I've been in a 2.5 year relationship, but you best believe I'm not getting married anytime soon.
no, ma'am. No. Yikes. Not getting pregnant either. These girls are always talking about kids and kids like, bro, her little body, like, Jesus, no.
Oh, you're so young. But anyways, the girls walk in on a mystery shadow figure who is reading adult fiction to the girls, and oh no, it happens to be not just a mysterious person, but it's Ashley I.
So
Brought back.
Ashley I is like returning to every single Bachelor season.
She is the
Like,
token girl, the
honestly.
crier.
Jesus. They're like, we need drama. Ashley, where you at? We need you now. They have her on speed dial, I believe.
Well, it's not just Ashley I, but she happens to be reading a book written by no one other than the host of the show, Chris Harrison.
Yeah, so Chris Harrison is a host, speaker,
Producer.
father, and producer, and an author of erotic novels.
Yes, apparently that's his passion in his free time. Clearly, this was just a big advertisement for, I guess. I don't think he sold very many more copies.
Probably not. I really wonder what his son feels like of his dad producing erotic novels like this.
I, oh, that's cringy to think about. Oh, that's
Ah. I
But
had to point
here's
that
the
out.
funny thing to think about. This date will definitely reveal anybody who secretly wrote fan fiction in high school because the girls are expected to write their own erotic stories involving a scene that they must create with them and Matt
And they're all reading in front of a live studio audience, which is not really a studio audience. It's just the rest of the women in the house.
and Chris Harrison
Oh, and Chris Harrison. Awesome. And Ashley.
and Ashley and Matt. And Rachel says she's really nervous for this date because when it comes to personal stuff like sex and things like that, she's more personal.
Yeah, which I kind of got like, God, Madison vibes from Peter season.
Yeah, totally.
Um, when she was like, when that whole situation happened and she got uncomfortable because she was like saving herself. I don't think Rachel's saving herself after
I don't
what
think Rachel is at all. But
after her story, but yeah.
I mean, every yin to the yang. Katie, on the other hand, being a lot more out there and open and sexually liberated, decides that she's really excited about what she's going to talk about with Matt, and she's thought about this a lot, I'm sure.
Oh God, no. Yeah, I am pretty sure she's written fanfics. She has a way with words when it comes to erotica, basically.
Yeah, definitely. And she shares her story of her vibrator moment on night one with Ashley I.
Yes, she does. She basically talks about like, and I guess it really like puts out her confidence in that, like basically saying like people need to be more open about like their sexuality like this. Like it's not something to like hide about. Like it's something that's important in relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, I mean, what happens next? I think we get into basically, oh my God, Victoria, her little preview that we have is a lot already, and you just know that it's going to be bad.
I'm gonna quickly pause right there because it's just the way the transition, like God, producers, editors they really did something. They transitioned from like Serena C and Kit's lovely little like sweet little poetry to Victoria's fantasies. And I was like, oh, it caught me off guard a little. I was like, oh, I feel dirty, man. I need to take a shower.
I was like, it really is just that over the top, I guess. Yeah. I just love the fact too, though, that they brought all the girls in. They're all waiting with wine, and they get to be entertained while also having all the insight on the drama of the date. And Katie notes how this is going to bring them all closer on a much deeper level. And who goes first? Oh, Matt does,
Matt
right?
goes first. I don't know about you, but his story got me confused. I got lost really fast. I was like, okay, so there's chocolate cake in the kitchen, and then this woman's horny, and then what happened to the cake? Wait, what's happening?
Yeah, his delivery was just really off. Like he has a deep voice and he could use it well, but he doesn't. It falls flat, and the story itself it was weird. And then we get to the actual lineup of girls, and Anna goes first, and she titles it Chapter 17. Chapter 17 is called The Fantasy Suite. I like that.
Very ironic. I liked hers. I feel like it really tied around to what like this show is about, and she tied it to the show, and then
Hmm.
I guess she put like the end to like what would make her. I don't know if I can say this, but like
No,
what
like
would
for like an Oakleaf podcast, how much are we left to talk about? Because this show's literally about sex.
exactly. Like okay, so like she's like, what would he's like, what would make her finish?
Yeah.
And she was like the final rose. And then she was like, oh my God, yeah, okay.
And she jokes and she says she knows she will not last long. Anyways, Bree then talks about massaging him with mud as her own fantasy, and then Kit delivers her story with actually cute, flirty, sexy vibes while also not being too explicit. But I just know that her story was really well written. Like she
No, for
wrote
sure.
fan fiction in high school,
Oh
secretly.
God, definitely. I was like the NYU English majors really coming out in this.
Yeah, totally. And oh, I accidentally just escaped my computer to see all of my different windows. One moment. You ever do that and
So
everything just like, anyways.
all the girls really brought out their 50 Shades of Grey. But I felt like Katie was definitely my favorite because I just felt like even though Kit's was really well written, I feel like Katie's was the most well written, and it was just like it was details. It was like
Oh yeah. I mean, we skipped Rachel's. Hers was fine, but it was definitely not dirty because then Katie immediately goes after, which definitely is like seems even more eccentric, I guess you could say. Even Chris
yeah.
Harrison was red as a lobster.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. I think all of them were just like speeches, like jaws dropped. But everyone's literally dying to what
Mhm.
Victoria said when she went full on X-rated. Like she had no hesitation at everything she said. Like I said, I needed a shower after that because I was just like, oh God. And like I didn't
The
even
stuff
understand most of
Victoria
it.
said, I definitely don't think we can actually say on this.
No, no, no. It was bleeped out most of it on the show. So it's gonna be bleeped out of here too because I'm not trying to get in trouble, man. Like,
We gotta like at least keep it
yikes.
like PG-13, I feel like, and that's not.
No,
Um, but
no.
she says that she doesn't fake it, and let's just say that.
Yeah. Oh, I was deceased at the part where she said Matt was screaming at the end, Yas, queen.
Yes, queen.
I can't with this woman. How old is she? She's 13. Like, get up, man. No.
Oh my God, yes, queen, and your $250 worth of makeup you stole. I hope it was worth it.
Oh my God, this woman really is trying to act Queen Victoria from England, man.
And she just
What?
keeps going too. Like she doesn't stop. It just keeps going as everyone just chugs their drinks. Like they just need to be drunker for this.
I think with all of these definitely disturbing little novel fanfic recreation, whatever, fantasy dreams, I don't know. But this is when Sarah really expresses her doubts with him dating other women. Yeah.
Yes. Sarah, I mean, she says that it felt like I think I had a mistype here. I don't know. But she says she basically needs to not be so sensitive. At least that's what she tells herself. But clearly she doesn't tell herself that enough because she goes into the next 2-3 days spiraling into sensitivity.
Basically, and so her trying to teach herself something completely backfires. But after that, we move on to the after party.
Yeah. And I mean, all of the girls are bringing it with their outfits. And Rachel is just going on still about how she is so comfortable after the date. It was super liberating for her. And she was comfortable talking, or she mentions how she was really comfortable about everything while she's talking to Matt about the storytelling, which was cool because she was able to come out of her shell more.
Yeah, I think in her talk with Rachel's talk with Matt, I mean, they both express their feelings for each other, and she says that she does have feelings for him, and he says he feels the same way. So I think right there and then we already know she's gonna be in the final four, maybe. I'm already calling that because it's already week 3 and expressing their feelings for each other so soon. Like
Rachel, Bree, Katie, they all have like really far vibes. Abigail too. They all have like gonna go far vibes. And then, back to the group, Rachel continues on her speech about how everything was so empowering today and all the girls agree. But Katie takes this opportunity to turn the situation around to herself to talk about how when she came in night 1, she was already so open and it made her super happy to see how the other girls were able to open up to Matt and come into themselves too. I mean, she has the best intentions, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure. Honestly, I feel like Katie is like, I've seen it everywhere. She's really the peacemaker. She's like the back. She's really
She's gonna be
carrying the
the next
show.
Bachelorette.
Honestly, if she isn't, I don't want anyone else. I want Katie, man. I love her. Love her so
She's
much.
going to be. She's not going to end up with him, but she's going to go far, I think, or far enough. And I love her. I love her. And just think of how fun that season will be.
It's just her personality. Like she doesn't have any like hesitation or anything. She's got confidence that some of the girls I already see lack. And I don't know, like she's great. I love
She's
her. And I
grown
just
up.
really I really love how she is so open about her sexuality as well. Like something that a lot of the women need to.
Yeah. And Matt, I took a note here that when he was, I forgot to talk about this, when he was kissing Rachel, his eyes are like weirdly open the entire time and it makes me really uncomfortable.
I said the
I'm like,
same thing too.
stop. Can you
Bro,
just close them?
I saw the same thing in all of his kisses.
He's always like
they're literally like
he like approaches with this weird gaping fish mouth too. Like you're trying to eat them.
Like it's
he's like
we just I can't. But literally every single kiss, I know, like I'm like, why? I feel uncomfortable. Like, stop staring at me. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop.
I know.
This isn't normal.
No. Like
Just,
it's.
I see a lot more
I
of
don't
it.
like
I know. You're not just doing fantasy suite with your eyes open. I'm just.
Ew. Oh God. Anyways,
No.
God, back at the house, we get the next date card delivered, and it says, "Let love lead the way," and it goes to Serena P.
Yeah, so Serena P gets the one-on-one date.
Yeah.
And when they announce the date, Sarah's not coming down to see who gets the date card, and she is upstairs moping until she thinks it's a good idea to bombard Matt at his date with the other girls because she has jealousy issues, which
Yeah.
kind of ties into her dating G-Eazy, which I don't know if it was prior to the season, but I mean, G-Eazy, we already know he's got cheating issues. Cheated on Halsey. He cheated on probably all the other girlfriends. I'm like, oh no, girly. Like, if you knew you had jealousy issues, why go to The Bachelor if you know he's gonna be dating 30 other women? Like, oh my God.
Oh, girl, I have tea. She was reportedly dating G-Eazy in March of 2020, just before the pandemic hit, which means that she is 100% there for the Instagram followers because they were
Yeah.
dating before she would have even gotten to apply to the show. Probably. She probably applied to the show right after this. So she was probably
Yeah.
trying to, like, oh, clearly she didn't get famous enough with G-Eazy. Oh, I'll just go on The Bachelor.
Yeah. And I mean, she was a broadcast journalist, but right now seeing TikToks of her trying to pursue to be a model. So, and she was like, I saw a TikTok that she was saying like, so this is how I became a model. Now I'm signed to this agency and like, I'm not a broadcast journalist anymore. And I was just like, oh, how ironic. You're a model now and an influencer, a wannabe influencer.
It just feels wrong. And like, okay, like honestly, in my opinion, Sarah came onto the show at a time in her life when her personal life was too busy for it and she has too many things going on. Her head's not in the right place. And, it's just there's a part of me that feels like she could come out of this just trying to get attention for like a GoFundMe for her dad or something like that too. And it feels icky. It just doesn't feel genuine or right. Like, I don't know.
It's just,
It, yeah.
yeah. But she
It's
ends
just
up,
partnered with the fact that she dated someone famous way before even going on the show.
which, yeah, that I didn't even know it was prior. And that's just, it speaks colors. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But
And
she ends up interrupting Katie's talk. Out of all people, she interrupts Katie's talk with Matt. And yeah, Katie is pissed.
she was super pissed, but she slipped out quietly. I mean, and then she went back to the rest of the girls though and told them what happened and said Sarah interrupted her. And they were obviously all mad, but Victoria got especially angry.
Oh yeah, no. But I feel like the girls almost forced Katie to go confront Sarah and Matt.
Definitely.
And well, this baddie, obviously, she's just like, I'm confident. I'll do it. And yeah, so she goes up and she's like, hey, it's our group date. I'm trying to get my time out here, And at that time, like Sarah's not talking to Matt about her really real feelings for him. He's trying to tell her he feels the same way. While Katie's out there, she's just like, I need my time. And then like Sarah's like,
just like, give me 5 minutes.
yeah. Oh, she was like 5 minutes, please. And she's like, maybe 2. And she's like, literally, I love Katie. She's like 4 feet away behind the little like cover thing. And she's like, he tries to reassure Sarah to like not compare herself with the other girls. And Katie pops out again, like, are y'all done yet? And then I'm dead. I'm literally dead when she sits down next to Matt as she waits for them to say goodbye.
Yeah, she's just like, yeah, no, you can have 2 minutes, but like, I'm gonna be right here. Like,
Basically. I was like, the confidence of this girl, like, I'm not mad at it. I'm just deceased. Like,
This girl
wow.
knows the show, and she knows that it's a game. She knows what she's doing this whole time. I think she knows what she's doing all the time with this show. Like, she is
She's
aware.
she is definitely a playmaker. Like she knows how this thing works. She knows how to control it. She knows she did her research for sure. She did her research.
Yeah. And, upon her final interruptions of them, uh, it was obviously super awkward, and Sarah is gonna leave when she asks him to walk her out, or he offers. How did that go?
I think she asked him to walk him out, to walk her out, and he was like, okay, yeah. And she proceeds to tell Katie, "It's like, I just needed a little bit more time." And Katie was just like, what the hell? And they
Yeah.
go to the back and they're kissing, and Katie hears it, looks annoyed, and she clears her throat. And that's when Sarah and Matt stop kissing, and she finally walks out.
It's gross. And there's like spit on his lips and when he returns practically, and I'm like, ew, like, oh God. My
It's
Lord.
just
Anyways,
messy.
yeah, so then Sarah decides to walk back to the rest of the group of the girls to apologize for taking any time on their date, which I thought was a smart move in terms of gameplay and trying to prevent a situation before it happens. But obviously, it was too late because Katie had already told them all that Sarah had taken her time and they're already angry at her.
What else did she expect, honestly? Like, even if like Katie didn't tell him that moment, like Katie was gonna tell the whole house, things spread, and it's just like, bro, what else were you gonna expect when these girls are wanting this time? You basically took half the girls' time. So
Yeah, and
like,
the girls are just like interrupting her when she's trying to talk to them. And Sarah at one point starts crying during the conversation. And she basically tries reassuring herself, though, that the other women just don't understand because her relationship is farther along than theirs is. And, then Victoria. Oh my God. Victoria was like such an actual queen this episode. Like, just in her savagery, like, off with their heads, everybody. Like, she was
basically.
over the top. She comes out and she's just joking about, how just like she's just joking constantly, right? How
Oh my
Sarah ruined the
god.
vibe of the night, and Sarah, why did you even come here? Why did you even come to interrupt our time? She's just making her feel like shit.
Honestly, though, I feel like Serena C also came to Cutthroats too. She proceeds to like ask like, why'd you come and all that stuff, like what was the reason basically, and
Yeah.
like she was like, oh, it's because it's really important what I had to tell them and stuff. I just had doubts, like I wanted to go home or something, and then they're all like, so are you gonna go home? And she was like, no. And then she was like, why didn't you tell them another time? She's like, I just didn't have time. She's like, this is the beginning of the week, like you're gonna have time, like. And that was a good point that they made, like it was the beginning of the week, like she couldn't have waited to go over her thoughts. But she ends up walking out, and like you said, Victoria's imitating her and her crying and stuff, and Victoria proceeds to follow her out and at fakely asks, I just love Victoria's like disgusting voice and her fake tone. And she's like
Yes.
basically asks if she's okay. And
She's like, are you
Sarah's like,
okay?
yeah, she was like, oh, okay, oh, baby, oh, okay. But she was like intense in there. And she's like, oh my God, no, Sarah, we love you. Even though at the beginning of the episode, Victoria said that she hated her after she fainted. So I was like, okay, I'm catching this lie, but I see what you're doing, Victoria. And then she was like, I thought it was your health again. That's why you wanted to go talk to him. Like basically acting dumb, but like, oh my God.
Yeah, but like I like that Victoria stepped down because when Katie came out, because Katie then comes out to interrupt the conversation and she talks to Sarah about, how she understands basically where she's coming from, but or Sarah says that to Katie, and but Katie still just kind of looks ticked. And she's basically Katie brings up a really fair point. She says to Sarah that you basically need to figure your stuff out because otherwise it's going to impact everybody else on the show. And I think she's also coming from the perspective of, if you don't figure your things out, like, you're taking other time from other people, but at the same time you're like emotionally manipulating Matt, because that's not fair to him. If you're not fully here, you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be wasting his
Exactly.
time or energy or emotion.
And it's like completely like true. And she like questions like, are you just talking because you're insecure? Like, is that why? Because you could have waited. And like it's so important, because like there's like, it's not the Sarah show. It's not only Sarah on here. Like there's other people he's forming connections with that are they're also progressing pretty fast. And like she did not take account of that because she's thinking of her herself.
Yeah. And then we return back to the Sarah leaves and we go back to the group date. And you know, what happened? He gives, I think we just basically cut to the rose, which goes to Rachel,
Mhm.
and it's for mostly her opening up on the group date. And he thanks them all, and they have thanks them for have the night and have a good night, goodbye. And the girls are all especially mad, but Anna is like irate at the end of the night, as is Kayla.
Yeah, because they didn't. I mean, by that moment, like they thought they would have time after the whole Sarah thing left, but they didn't.
Yes.
And honestly, half the girls didn't get any time at all. So like
Yeah.
so like Kayla and Anna, they haven't like actually talked with Matt since night one, honestly. Like at this point in the race, like that's really bad.
Yeah, and Serena C says basically to Sarah in like a personal interview that you're a grown-ass woman. You should have withheld those feelings until you had your time. And she's just frustrated, which like can't blame her, you know? Can't
Honestly.
blame her. Yeah. And then back at the house, Serena P is super excited for her date, her one-on-one. And Victoria just tells Serena jokingly that she should just tell Matt on the date that Sarah sucks.
Yeah, I found that. And then she's like, no. I find Serena P to be the absolute cutest. I adore her so much. And Matt comes down all turtleneck twinning with her, and they want to discuss the Sarah incident till he realizes Sarah is not there.
Yeah, and the girls are like, "Oh, well, you didn't realize? We haven't really seen her at all since last night, and she really wasn't even around since the night before that." So, like, welcome to like the house. This is how it's been. And Matt then goes up to the room, giving Sarah more one-on-one time, which the girls obviously are not happy about. And
Yes,
the
for only
girls,
5 minutes. That was the longest 5 minutes ever.
it was longer than 5 minutes. And the girls see through this. They're like, Sarah is looking for affirmation and she's just begging for it. But Matt still goes up to her room, gives her the one-on-one time she wants, and he like lays on top of her and hugs her. And she's just acting surprised. She's like, "Oh, what? I didn't expect to see you here."
I was napping.
Yeah. And then she's all, "Oh, yeah, I like packed my bags and I was ready to leave this morning." And Matt's like, "That would be a tragedy," giving her exactly the same affirmation she was so seeking.
Mm-hmm.
So they talk more, and he tries reassuring her as best as he can. They
Expresses his
kiss,
feelings. Oh, love
expresses
that.
their feelings. It's the same old. And the girls get mad. Big surprise. Matt returns. He apologizes. Big surprise.
I just feel bad for
Meanwhile,
Serena. He's taking away like her time. Like she's innocent.
yeah, seriously, give her the time she deserves. So that's when they go out to enjoy their horse riding date.
Yeah, and so they finally go on a date after a very long 5 minutes. And like I said, I just love she's a small ball of sunshine. And so I also realized that Matt has never made it. God, I can never say the word. I always say I always say charcuterie. With
Oh,
charcuterie,
my boyfriend
charcuterie,
always says the same thing. The charcuterie boards.
charcuterie. Yeah, that. So he's never made one. And so Serena teaches him like the ways. And she talked about how her dad had a lack of support for her coming there, because like she's breaking like the norm because he's used to living a linear life. Something that I thought was really important to talk about. Like she is really good at like breaking the normal standards, breaking barriers and stuff.
Yeah. And then the donkey interrupts their beautiful picnic where they're professing their feelings and interrupts their makeout sesh, which was funny. But Serena explains that she's not usually someone to catch feelings for somebody very quickly, but she's going against that and she's catching feelings for him. Then they take cute Polaroid photos before being again photobombed by a donkey.
God, we love that donkey. That donkey deserves his own reward, honestly. That donkey deserves his own cameo. I hope to see that donkey again next season of The Bachelor or Bachelorette.
Bring him back. We want to see him again. Donkey 2021.
Bachelor in Paradise. Take out Wells Adams.
VIP.
Like we need him.
Oh, yes. I want to see him on the beach with the crabs, galloping in the
Yes.
waves.
Oh my
And
God, yes.
but oh, we can't have him alone without a turtle because Matt he reveals that he loves turtles and he had one as a kid growing up. And Serena, weirdly enough, says she's never known anybody who's had a turtle before. Why? Did you never know anybody cool? I don't know. Like,
Did you know anyone cool? I mean, I just found that really ironic. I was like no one. Like I even
like
like
no one ever.
elementary school. Like I remember some people would bring in their turtles for show and tell. Like
Yeah, totally. So annoying.
I don't
Um,
know. She said like only like new people had turtles like for like therapy. So you call them like therapy turtles. Like that's why Matt had it. Like I don't know. It was funny. It was her poking her fun at him, but yeah, it was all fun and games, obviously.
yeah. And I mean, we cut back to the girls, and they're still talking shit about Sarah because she is still hiding away in her room. And if you're hiding away in your room like a little girl, then you deserve it, in my opinion.
Honestly, she's digging herself in her own hole at this point. Like, no doubt about it. And so we go back to Serena and she talks about how she's been in only one serious relationship as they go into the after party or the evening portion of the day, I mean. And she thought it was the one and they break up and I think she said it happened a year ago.
Oh man. Well, I mean, that's rough, but it makes me wonder, are you sure you're ready? Like, to get back into something so serious so soon? I don't know, but we'll see. She said that the breakup was the lowest point of her life, but I did like that she also said that she was like, just because she was sad doesn't mean that dating him was the wrong decision. Like, just because you hurt after it ended doesn't mean you shouldn't have done it, you know? I like that. And then she asks him about his last relationship, and he reveals that his last relationship was about a year ago, and they dated for only 4 months. And basically, it ended because he wasn't ready to put a title on it. Again, I feel like he is not going to be able to commit in the end.
No, no, no. I don't know if I think you did send me a snap. You talking about like how you didn't want to put a title on it. And like I saw this and I was like, he backed out because supposedly he was dating for marriage and the woman wasn't it. But
Hmm.
like 4 months in, uh, I'm just really, really weary now.
Yeah, 4 months is not long at all. 4 months is like barely past the honeymoon phase. Like, that's nothing. You're still
Yeah.
just getting to know each other. Like,
Yeah.
it's not even a full semester in school. Yeah.
Like it's definitely concerning for sure. He also reveals to Serena that he's never been in love. That although we knew as the audience, Serena didn't know this. And while she said she's only been in love with her ex. Yeah.
Well, it's better than Matt, who says he's never really been in love.
Yeah, it's
So,
again.
but she does say she was deeply in love with her ex, so she knows what it feels like, which is really, really notable. So,
Yeah. She did also mention that she is falling into like with Matt. And according to Matt, and she can see herself falling in love with him. And at the moment, he didn't say it back. Or did he was just like, oh, I'm always smiling when I'm around you. So I just kind of saw it as a red flag almost.
he says
But
like she has infectious energy and that he likes
yeah,
spending a lot of time with her and he's
yeah,
excited to continue it. But like
yeah.
he didn't really say that he was falling for her or anything too or feels the same way like he has
No.
with some other girls.
The only thing he said is that he feels the relationship is progressing, which I mean, I guess it's a sign, but it just also says we kind of know she's not gonna. Even though I love her so much. I don't think she's gonna get the final rose.
Well, it's like your relationship can be progressing because she said all the right things, but you're not going to end up with her. Like,
No,
it's fine.
it's fine.
So,
She
I
deserves
mean,
better, anyways.
yeah, yeah. But, anyways, I have here for the right reasons vibes from Serena for sure.
Yeah, me too. I did also put a note that he did say his feelings are mutual in the end as he gives her
Yeah,
the rose for the date.
it's a
But
big deal.
I was like, okay. So she's gonna last, but she's not gonna get the final rose.
She'll last, but not like Final Four, not hometowns or anything like that.
Mhm.
And then they go to the hot tub for a steamy makeout sesh. And honestly, I would just want to try this hot tub at this point because I've seen it so many times, I feel like, and I'm interested.
I was like, God, is this really good? Like,
Yeah. And
it
then
seems intriguing for sure. Also, he shows up in his turtle swim
I was
trunks.
just gonna
So
mention the turtle, bringing back to the turtle. But
for
funny
sure.
enough, loved this next little bit. Back at the house, the girls say they're still missing Sarah, and Kit's like, I'm not missing her.
I know. But
I
then
know.
at that moment, Rachel comes out with the date card and Sarah
Oh,
comes out of nowhere.
oh my God. Wait, was that before or after Victoria says Sarah doesn't need Matt, she needs a Xanax?
Oh, wait, that happened after. Man, wait, hold on.
Did I
When did
miss
this happen?
something? Did I
Hold on.
miss writing down that she comes out with the date card? I think I did.
I don't know, but that sounds vaguely familiar. And yes, she needs a Xanax for sure.
She's like, Sarah doesn't
I'm
need Matt,
dead.
she needs a Xanax.
Oh my God. No, but I literally, Sarah, when Rachel comes in with the date card, Sarah comes out of nowhere. Like, I thought she was a ghost. I'm not going to lie. I
Yeah.
thought she was a
And
ghost.
like MJ was so pissed about it too.
But yeah, no, MJ's been pissed a lot lately. I was like, I thought she was just like really like down to earth, go lucky, like girl, and she
Yo,
got some rage in her. She's got
dude,
some
I think
rage.
she was, but I think it's these psycho girls that she's stuck in a house with. They're like making her go crazy. Like I think that they made MJ lose her cool. Maybe that,
Doesn't
and
make
like
sense.
maybe MJ isn't allowed to have MJ or something like on the show, and maybe that's just what keeps her happy. So
Bro,
you
honestly.
never know.
But if I was with Victoria for a week, my inner Aries is gonna come out. I'm gonna start throwing hands. I swear my rage will come out too, man.
Dude, I could not handle Victoria. I would be that chick who would literally just be like like I don't know. It'd be like not night one, but like a few nights after, and I would just be like, really? Like, can you just shut the fuck up? Or like, I'd be like, I'm just leaving. Like, you're not Matt's not worth this to deal with you. Like, I'm not putting myself through this drama.
No, 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 no. Well, anyways, the girls are all left shook as Sarah squeezes in next to Bree. But the thing is, we didn't even get to hear what the group date card said because everyone literally came to cut Sarah's throat. And I was like, oh my God, she's trying to apologize and
Yeah.
like saying, if you guys know me, and Victoria was like really interrupting her, and she's like, we don't know you, and like no one cares about you. And like
Yeah.
Serena see Anna and Victoria with her evil laugh all mock her and call her toxic and
Yeah, like
manipulative.
Victoria and Kit were like, yeah, we don't know you. And then it was just like they're all like, you took our time and everything. And Victoria was like, oh yeah, you're monopolizing the time here. This is not the Sarah show.
There we go with the Sarah
So
show.
so ridiculous. And then I think there was so many lines here I couldn't even catch them all. Like
The Xanax line was in this one too.
the Xanax, she repeated the Xanax line. I have that written down here again. Oh my God, it's so bad. Victoria also said, "Why do you make me want to make amends with you?" And then she just took a sip of her wine and made Sarah cry. I wrote that down. I don't remember her making Sarah cry though, but apparently she did.
Oh no, bruh! It's the laugh and it's the sipping.
She's just like, "Why do you
She's
think we'd even want
constant.
to make amends with you?"
She's constantly just throwing shade and sipping alcohol at this point. Like that's just who Victoria is. I'm just like, I don't
She's
know if you're
a
like
spot.
genuinely doing this or you just drunkenly just throwing shade.
She's
Like,
on the wrong show. She needs to get on Real Housewives. She's on the wrong show. Like straight up, she's on the wrong show.
oh my god, no, but for sure, yeah.
Like, I just couldn't believe that she made Sarah cry though. Like, I could not get over that. And I mean, Victoria says then, like, she's like, I'm not gonna speak for the group, but I don't accept your apology, and I'm not gonna say it 20 more times. And then Kit's like backing her up, and Victoria's just like, yeah. and
Yeah, but
and
they were
Sarah's
tag
like, I
teaming it
feel
out.
emotionally beat up.
I was like, I low-key felt a little like hurt in my heart. I was like, yo, I couldn't handle that either, man. Like,
Too much
Jesus.
for
If you don't
me.
need a Xanax now, sir, I think you need one now after handling that brutal encounter.
I was
Like,
like, I feel like it was like
yikes.
Friday nights on like the Lost Boys Island, and they just like went crazy making fun of you. Like, fuck.
Jesus. Well, anyways, the next day after the explosive tension, like Katie actually goes out to talk to Sarah and like see how she's doing and stuff.
I love
Which
Katie.
I
Yeah.
love. I actually love because although Sarah did hurt Katie for taking her time, I love how she stood up, became the bigger person. And from she has a big enough heart to look out for Sarah after she realized what happened last night like wasn't okay, the way she was being bullied. And
Hmm.
Sarah reveals her dad's situation to Katie, and Katie relates to that because her dad actually passed away 8 years ago. So she's telling her that the time that it's with your loved ones isn't taken for granted. Um,
Yeah. And she says that too, she never got the chance to say goodbye to her dad. And so she doesn't want that for Sarah either, which is, just so hard.
It
Um,
really is. It's just like I was like tearing up low key hearing that, and I was like, okay, like Katie, if y'all didn't need any more proof that Katie's here for the right reasons, then she is. Like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally crying during this because I had a very similar situation with my own, and like I was just like I was so grateful that they're like representing it on screen, and like showing that Katie was upset too, and she has a lot of empathy and like sympathy for Sarah's situation, and she's just really supportive of her, and she's like, you gotta go home and you gotta savor that time that you can, uh,
Exactly.
you
Katie realized
know.
she's fucked up after calling out Sarah on her BS. But then
Hmm.
Sarah tells her like even though like she's gonna leave, like it's because of her family, but it's also because like the tension in the house. It's like a combo between the two,
Yeah.
as well as like not being able to handle dating a man that 30 other women are dating.
Yeah. And then Katie goes back and she tells the group that Sarah decided to leave. Meanwhile, Anna was just making so many ugly faces. And this is just the beginning of a series that
Oh
is
my
never
god,
ending
yeah.
from here on out, it seems like. But it's it's fine.
Shiny. Oh my god, I saw this meme that they're comparing Anna to Debbie Ryan. And like and, oh my god. Oh my god. It was like in the later we see the preview of Anna calling one of the new girls an escort. And she's like this, like, I think she's an escort. And then they compared her. Like,
She like talks like this. She's like, she entertains men
she's
for
like,
money.
she entertains men for money.
For
And they
money.
compare that to Debbie Ryan saying, like, I'm trying to make history. Oh my god. I can't with it. I can't. I need to stop watching TikToks, man. Literally giving me life
TikTok
over
is
here.
like getting me through the year. Anyways,
Honestly.
it was just ridiculous. And then here's the thing though, a bunch of the girls obviously start just like shitting on Sarah after she leaves, and Katie's defending her because Katie knows, like what's just going on in Sarah's actual life. And then we cut to Sarah going to say goodbye basically to Matt.
Yeah, and she tells Matt that she doesn't feel welcome in the house. And she also says just that she just doesn't think she is ready for marriage and ready for this. And she mentioned that she just wants the best Sarah because he deserves the best, and she doesn't feel like her best right now. And I mean, yikes, without kind of bullying, will anyone feel like their best if they receive that kind of Jesus bullying? Like, wow.
Dude, I would feel like crap. Like I would not be able to, I would have no self-esteem after that, and I would be just second guessing everything. And like even just being like, fuck, why did I make the decision in the first place to come? Like
Exactly.
God. And it's just like I feel for her. And he obviously was talking then about how he doesn't want her to go because they do have a connection, and he felt closer with her, he reveals, than some, like, he felt like he had the most connection with her already than some of the other women. She was a front runner, like we thought. Like I even said a few weeks ago, like final three right here, I think. Like just she's gonna go because he had that mindset with her. He would take her that far if she had chosen to stay. If she had chosen to stay, I think she would have gone there. But
do you think we'll see like a return of Sarah?
no, I don't
Okay.
think we'll see a return of Sarah because we have so many girls coming back in. And I think if Sarah came back, I feel like we would have already gotten like a teaser trailer for it. Because whoever's the editing team, I feel like for The Bachelor, has putting all of the spoilers like in the previews of the season. I don't know if you noticed this, but like they've spoiled every like rose ceremony, like with major players and just a bunch of stuff. And it's like I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Also, like you said, they've already revealed so many spoilers. I mean, the arrival of a former Bachelor
Yeah,
contestant.
Heather comes back.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't think so either. I was thinking about it like right now and like thinking about last season when literally everyone was returning.
Everyone kept coming back. We're not far
And
enough
like,
down the road yet for that.
yes, that's true. That's true too. That's true too.
It's also not La
But
Quinta where it seems like anyone can come and go whenever they freaking want.
literally though, my God.
With like even Chris Harrison's like bye.
Like, y'all, why are y'all still here? Like, did I not get you in the plane already? Like, my God.
Yeah. But anyways, he was kind of fighting for her a little bit,
No. Yeah, she was. And the thing was like she felt hesitant because she felt like him like pushing for her to stay, but she was just like, yeah, I'm just not mentally okay right now, which makes sense, honestly.
And it's I think super respectable that she made that decision for herself, and good for you for being able to do that as hard as it was.
Yeah.
I wish her the best. I wish her family the best. Even if I do think she went there solely for followers. That was shallow, but at the same time, I'm glad you realized your mistake before you got too far in the game.
Yeah, before wasting time with other girls too that would have wanted that shot.
Yeah. And she wraps it up by basically saying she won't stop thinking, or no, sorry, Matt says that he won't stop thinking about her and her family and her dad and praying for them all. And this just shows that he is super genuine. He does really care about her. And, she said that, or he says that some guy is going to be extremely lucky with her, and he's bummed it's not him. And I'm like, I love that.
Yeah, it was really a good ending line to their relationship because
Mm-hmm.
kind of tied together like how he felt about her and how like, it was just timing, I guess. It was just not the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, it was just A+ speech, Matt. And then, gives her an I'll miss you. She reciprocates. He walks her out. And then, in the car, Sarah just says she hopes she's not making the wrong decision. And she's looking forward to next week and things like, oh, wait, why did I write looking
I was
forward
a
to
little
next?
like, wait,
I think I didn't do a no, I think I didn't do a enter before my next dot on my notes here because I typed them this time.
oh
Anyways,
my
so
god.
looking forward to next week.
I was like,
That was what
what?
I was. That
Rewind.
was my That was my. Anyways, it appears that we are going to be getting our new arrivals coming into the house, and Anna is implying that one of our new arrivals, likely, possibly, is a sex worker.
An
Anyways,
escort, yes, an escorting
an
sex
escort.
work.
Which by the time we film this, I have already seen, I would say, an hour and 15 minutes of that hour and a half episode. And you've watched all of it, right?
Yeah, I literally barely finished watching it, and I'm gonna just say, y'all in for a treat for sure.
Which we'll be covering on our next episode of Here for the Instagram Followers.
Thanks for listening, y'all. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.